We have conducted multiple interviews, executed multiple search warrants, and we've canvassed numerous specific geographic areas. The day Quinton was reported missing, we requested the assistance of the FBI. They responded immediately and have been on the scene with our officers since that time. Today, there are more than 40 FBI agents and personnel on the ground in Chatham County working with our department to find Quinton. This includes all agents assigned to the Savannah and Brunswick resident agencies and professional staff, agents from other FBI offices, including members of the Child Abduction and Rapid Deployment Unit, and other subject matter experts. They have been continuously working with Chatham County Police Department for the last 5 days. We believe with the continued assistance of the FBI, we will have a resolution to this case. We understand that people far beyond Chatham County have become emotionally invested in this incident and the search for Quinton, and they want answers. We are committed to finding those answers, and we are committed to finding Quinton. With that said, I'll be happy to answer a few questions if you.
This has been going on for about 5 days now, and I think everybody is kind of moving towards worst case scenarios. At what point, do you say that there's some criminal aspect to what's going on?
Yes, and that's a very good and that's a very fair question. We're looking at it from multiple fronts, and one of it being a criminal investigation, as well as a missing child at this point. We don't have anything confirmed, so we can't say anything absolutely. But it is fair to say that our efforts and the cooperation with the FBI, and then providing an abundance of resources to us, that we are looking at the criminal investigation aspect of it as well.
Chief, how are you looking at the criminal investigation? Right? What people are you looking into? Is it turning towards family members or?
Everybody is being looked at. Everybody is being interviewed. Everybody that had contact with Quinton in the most recent time of his disappearance is being looked at, is being interviewed, and that's an enormous amount of work, obviously, that takes, and we are continuing to do everything that we can do to gather evidence if it's there. We have to follow, obviously, an investigative process. We have to follow the law. We have to get search warrants. I know there's a lot of interest out there and probably some chatter of why haven't you done this and why haven't you done that. Well, we have a constitution to follow. We have the law to follow, because we want to make sure we get it right. We want to make sure we do this as professionally and as expertly as we can. So if, and I say if, we have to prosecute anyone in this case, that we've done it right. That we don't lose evidence in an evidentiary hearing or anything like that. So we continue to work diligently, but we're going to work within the framework that we have to work in.
What are the updates in the areas being searched? Where is it gone from? Where are you searching now?
Well, we went back today and researched the home in which he was last at. Trying to redouble our efforts and to kind of scrub, no pun intended, scrub the area and make sure that we didn't miss anything.
So FBI agents outside the home, what was the purpose of them being there?
They're there to help us. It's a Chatham County Police Department investigation. They are here in a support role, and I can't thank them enough. You don't bring 40 people, and some from all over the country, without an enormous amount of effort and expense. Those agents left their homes and left their families to come here and help Chatham County look for little Quinton, and I can't be any more appreciative of that.
Chief, we filed open records request for the 911 call. For the body camera video from that initial response, it was denied today, and originally they said it was because this was a criminal investigation. The county attorney kind of backtracked and then gave us the law that you usually use in a criminal investigation. Why don't you want that out there? Why don't you want the public to hear this mother call 911?
We have to protect the integrity of the investigation, and that's first and foremost. I certainly understand people's interest in this case, your interest in this case, and I can appreciate that. But my responsibility and our responsibility is to do a professional investigation, that we don't do anything that impedes that we don't do anything that tarnishes the integrity of the investigation, and that's my sole responsibility for that.
Have any of the family members, are they still being cooperative, especially this mother, and have any of them told you that they don't want to talk anymore because they got lawyers?
I can't answer that question.
Chief, where are Leilani and Daniel right now? They are the parents and the boyfriend of this young boy, but we haven't seen them pleading to the public for help. Where are they right now?
I don't know where they are currently at this time. I do believe they've been staying at the residence, but I don't physically right now, as I'm talking to you, I don't know where they're at.
Do you know why it is that we have not seen them? They're not talking to us. They're not pleading to get their child back.
I don't have an answer for that.
There's
From the start
an
of the-
increase of activity in the area this morning. We saw Chatham County Fire, FBI at the house, a couple of looks like unmarked police vehicles. Is there a reason for increased activity today after kind of a drop-off, at least at the house over the weekend?
As I just stated earlier, we were searching that residence again this morning.
I have a quick question for you, Chief. At this point in
And
the
then she has a
investigation, I know you can't speak specifically, but in cases like this, so you exhaust your first search, and now you're back into researching some of those, you said, targeted areas over the weekend. What happens next if no one's giving you tips, if there's no piece of evidence that changes this case? How long do you exhaust this, and then what do your investigators do after today?
Well, after today, I anticipate us working at least throughout the week. At some point, if I'm following your train of logic, that we may have to sit down and reevaluate where we're at. If we've exhausted everything that we think that we can do, if we ask ourselves that question and we think there's nothing else for us to do at this moment, then we got to sit down and reevaluate. But we're a long ways away from that.
And just from the start of the process of the investigation, now going on to Monday, do you feel like you all have gotten further along in the process of coming to some sort of conclusion?
I do.
Do you have, what makes you believe that, if you don't mind me asking?
I can't get any specifics of the case.
How you guys doing?
This has got to be exhausting. You can tell that you look tired. How are you investigators doing? This is a tough case.
Thank you. Thanks for that question. I appreciate that. They're tired, but they're determined, and I couldn't be any prouder of them. They have worked 18-hour days since last Wednesday morning, along with the FBI and everybody else. They are all hands on deck. They are committed. They are working hard to try to bring a resolution to this case and find little Quinton. But thank you for asking. I appreciate
To
it.
springboard off of that, that sounds like you're stating out here saying that you guys will find out what happened.
I believe we will. I do.
Chief, you set up a tip, or your department set up a tip number over the weekend. Have y'all received any tips from it so far?
I believe we've received some, but we have to verify those. Whether or not they're accurate, whether or not we can follow up on any of that information. I don't have anything of substance. So I got one more question from you.
You actually took the words right out of my mouth.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for asking about our detectives. And I promise when we get something to report, we'll report it back out to you. Thank you so much.
Let me ask you just one more question. Has there been any contact with Quinton's biological father?
We have had contact with him, yes.
Is he at all, is he a suspect in this case? Has he been cleared?
He's not a
Any of that?
suspect in this case.
Got it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.